Hello, it's Donald with Dees Bees here, and I'm out here this morning at one of my bee yards. What I'm going to be doing is adding a box to one of the nuke boxes I got out here. I actually was going to be doing a little demo. That didn't quite work out, so I'm just making a little video for the people that wasn't able to show up due to circumstances. But anyway, I got ahead of myself here and went ahead and opened the hive before I started the video. So anyway, I took these boxes off. Whoops. Took these boxes off the lid. So I'm down into this box here, which is, I thought I had 2 deeps on it, but actually I got a deep and 3 supers. So this box here has a brood frame in it, and I'm gonna try to get that out of there without getting stung to death. But put a little smoke on them, calm them down. I'm just gonna reach in there real quick, see if I can pull this frame out, show you what's on it, figure out what we're gonna do with it. All right, you see all that? That's uncapped brood. Nuke box, queen's in there. There she is right there. Queen's in there, keeping it populated, doing what she's supposed to do. So I'm going to be very careful not to injure that queen. Get her back in there. I wanted to see what this box looked like because it tells me what I'm going to be doing with this box that I'm going to be adding to it. So what I'm actually going to be doing is putting this back together carefully and create a little space here. Because the last thing we want to do is roll that queen, mash the queen, injure the queen. We don't want that at all. So we're going to take this box off. So actually, hold on, I'm trying to do this and talk with my hands and get the box done so you can see. Okay. There we go. Got that box sitting down, and then you can see this is the bottom brood box, and you can actually see the cage that's in there from where I introduced that queen about 2 months ago. So anyway, what I'm going to do is take one of these frames out, and I'm going to put an empty frame in there, and then I'm going to move this frame here up into the box that I'm going to stack on top of it. I'm going to let my son here hold the camera and kind of watch along with what's going on, so I can use both hands and you guys can see what's going on from a steady camera angle. So anyway, this one here generally has food in it. So I'm going to reach in there and get that one because I want a food frame and a pollen frame in the box I'm adding. Okay. So this frame here has not much food. It's got pollen, a little bit of drone brood, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to slide these frames over. Get that syrup. They're not eating much of that syrup, so they must be finding something natural out there if they're not taking that syrup. I can see the syrup jar right here is about 80% full. I'm going to reach in here, get out that queen cage. She's no longer in there. Lay it up there. That's a solid frame of brood in the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and set this frame down. Pull this one out and show you what's going on. And that's a solid frame of brood. Those are babies that are going to hatch in the next 12 days. And that's probably about 3,000 bees right there that's about to hatch. And then the frame right beside of it looks the same way. So what I'm going to do, because I want the queen to keep making the brood and doing all of that, I'm going to move this frame, which is not the best frame in the world, but the bees will clean this up in a minute. It's got a little bit of wax moth webbing on it. I froze it to kill the moths and the larvae, and I want them to clean it up, and then the queen will use this for a brood. I'm going to put it right in the middle, which is the place that she likes to lay the brood, so she really won't have much of a choice but to use this frame. So they'll clean it up overnight. It'll be looking like new tomorrow. And now I'm going to take the one over here. That way, it kind of encourages the bees to come on up into this box. Now I'm gonna get that put there. Now I'm gonna slide that like that, and I'm gonna slide those frames over. Slide that down in there, and then I'm just gonna set this right on top. And that gives them a second deep brood box. So in the winter, in the late winter, when I get ready to put these bees in a regular beehive this size, I'll have 10 frames, which is the size of these boxes. I'll have a box like this, and I'll have 10 full frames. So now we're just going to put the box back together in the reverse order. Put that right there. That's the one with the queen in it. Put this one up there. This one right here weighs about 25 pounds easily. Full of food, syrup, honey, and whatever. And then this one is empty, but I'm going to leave it because I'm going to keep feeding these bees for about another month and a half or two, and I don't want them to use this for food storage primarily. I want the food stored up here. So I want them to have plenty of room to store food, not in the brood rearing area. Now we'll put it back together. And it's done. So one of the things that I did in this box is I took some artificial pollen before I came over here. Some of the things I did in the blue box is I took this outside frame and sprinkled about 2 cups of artificial pollen on it and smeared it in there, so they got pollen right in there. So when the baby brood emerges, they got fresh pollen to throw right in there and start feeding them, which is what they do. So we got a few vent holes here. You can see the bees have been propolising that a little bit. They'll fill that up before winter gets here because they don't like a lot of draft in the wintertime. And then around on the front side, at least on this one, on the tops of these, this one hasn't drank it down yet, but I've been putting a little bit of syrup on there so they can go ahead and get heavy for winter. I've been checking the weights of the hives, and the hives are fairly heavy, but I want to give the front feeders to the hives and the top feeders, the ones that are a little lighter than the rest of them. That means the other ones been doing a really good job of getting the syrup, and these guys haven't been able to get it. They're probably on brood. They're probably not as populated, so they don't have as many bees to send to the buckets. Over here, the bucket feeders, we don't have as many bees going to the bucket feeders to bring syrup back, so the other hives that are stronger are getting more syrup. So this is the way that I'm able to equalize it out for everybody and make sure these individual hives are getting enough food. So I can put these syrup on there, and tomorrow they'll have these jars empty. This hive right here weighs about 200 pounds, so I know they got plenty of food, so that's why they've been cut off, basically, by not putting a jar on them. But anyway, that's a little bit about what's going on out in the bee yard today, and thanks for stopping in, thanks for following, and thanks for the honey purchases. Thank you much. We love you.